Hey everyone, this is Sandeep back with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to continue to build our movie Mania JavaScript project. And if you haven't watched the previous videos, I have put the link of the playlist in the description so that you can go and watch all those videos and then you can come back to this video. Okay. So in this part of the video, we are going to build the feature called the comparison of two movies, right? So in the last part, right, we have refactored the autocomplete component, right? So I can search for Inception here and I can click and I can get data. But now I want to have two different autocomplete on side by side, okay, on left hand side and right hand side, so that I can search for two different movies and I can have a comparison about two different movies. So that's what we are going to build in this part of the video. So let's jump into it. Okay, so let's first start with the HTML structure. So we need to have two different sections, right, on the left hand side and right hand side, so that I can have two different autocomplete for searching. So to do that, I'm going to take help from Bulma. So I'll come to Bulma and I'll look for columns. So we basically need to create some columns, and I'm going to use the container class also. Let me find out the container class. So I'm going to use layout and let's use this container. Okay, the container element. Let's pick this element first, the container one, and let's put it here. So this container and this container is going to have the columns. So let's use the columns, the basic. So we are going to have different, like we don't need to have 4 columns. We need to have 2 columns, right? So I'm going to copy this because I don't want to spend a lot of time on CSS, right? So we need to have 2 columns only. And inside each column, I'm going to have 2 different autocomplete. So I'm going to have one here and I'm going to have another one here. Let's give it a name of 1 and the another one will be 2. So 2 different autocomplete and 2 different movie detail section also we need to have. So I'm just going to copy this one here and I'll give it a name of 1 and another one which will be movie detail 2. So right now I'm rendering everything inside one section, but now I'm going to remove this. So now we have the HTML structure, right? I need to put one more thing in my HTML structure. So I'm going to go into elements, notification, and let's use a notification here. So let's use the primary one probably, or let's try this one. This one looks good. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. Let's have another notification here. And that notification I'm going to put inside a container. So let's have a container and inside that, let's have a notification. And I'm going to give it a name of, information. Because this is more of information to the user that you need to use the autocomplete on top, left hand side, right hand sides to compare the movie. And let's use some titles also. So I'm going to use subtitle number. I think 4 will look good. So I'll use 4 inside this. And let's tell users search for movies above to compare. Something like that. And some kind of information, some kind of message. So now if I come back, okay, you see that, but the autocompletes are gone. So I can bring it back, not to worry. So we just need to change this to 1 to bring the autocomplete to 1. You see that? We are getting the autocomplete 1. We need some spacing here also in these elements. So I'm going to use some of the helper classes from Bulma and they're here. You go to helpers, you go to spacing, right? You'll get a lot of helper classes related to margin. So let's use one of the example, right? So I need to have a margin bottom of 4 somewhere. Okay, so I can use that. Let's have some margin top here. Okay, so I'm going to say margin top 4 here and I'm going to say margin top 4 here. So we can have some spacing in our elements. Cool. So this is looking good, right? Now I need to have another autocomplete component here, which I'm going to put. Okay, so to have 2 different autocomplete, right? I already have the autocomplete 1, autocomplete 2 HTML structure here. We need to do some changes in our JavaScript. So I'm going to copy this entire autocomplete from here and I'm going to put it here. So now I just need to change this to autocomplete 2. And if I save and if I go back, you see that we're having two different autocomplete components, and I can search here, maybe Inception. I can click, but you don't see the output, right? That's what we need to handle. And Harry Potter here, and we can see the Harry Potter here. You're getting some, we might be getting some error here, right? Cannot set properties in a HTML render movie because we don't have that element here. Okay. So let's go back. Now, if you see here inside this autocomplete configuration, right, we have a lot of duplicate code because I did a copy paste and I just changed this class name to autocomplete 1 and 2. So I think we need to do some refactoring or avoid some duplicate code here. So I'm going to just cut all of this code from here, and I'm going to create the configuration object for our autocomplete. Complete config. I can give it a name of autocomplete config just to be specific, right? That will be an object, and I'm going to put the all of the configuration inside it, right? So now we have that duplicate code moved into autocomplete config object. Now I can use the how you can combine objects in JavaScript. So I'm just going to do the destructuring of that object here, which is going to get combined with the root element because that's the only thing which is different in both the cases. So I'm going to remove all of this from here also, right? And I can have dot 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 autocomplete config here, comma. So if I save, if I go back to my application, I think it's still working. Inception. Yeah, I can see the data. Now, we need to do some changes around our fetching up movie, right? So when I click on the option select, so let's go into this. When I click on the option select, we are fetching for the movie. Once we have the movie, we are rendering that movie, and that rendering movie, we are just rendering inside one movie detail.inner.html. But in our case, we need to render that movie into different sections. Like for the left hand side, we need to render in one. For the right hand side, we need to render into two. So we need to pass this element, right, where you want to render the data. So those changes. So I think I need to take out this on option select configuration from here, and I need to put it into separate autocomplete configuration. So let's do that. Okay, so let's do that. So I'm going to take out this option select function from here. I mean, from my configuration, the one configuration object, and I'm going to override its behavior here also, and here also we need to have, right? So when I select the movie, I'm calling the fetch movie, but I want to call the fetch movie with two different elements name, right? So I'll say document dot query selector, and I'm going to target that element, movie detail 1 and movie detail 2. So something like this. I'm going to copy this one from here and paste it here. And here I just need to change to movie detail 2. Now I'm fetching the movie for two different options, right? And here I need to change this also. So now I'm getting the element, right? And I can use that element for rendering my movies. I can pass the element here. I'm going to get that element here. So now I have multiple parameters. I need to use brackets. I got the element here. Now I can replace this movie detail with the element. So we can have different element rendering, different part of the movie search. One more thing I need to do, right? So when we are searching, right? When we are searching, basically, so I'll go back. When we are searching here, I want to hide this part, right? Search for movie about to compare. So that's my notification, right? And to hide my notification, what can I do? So when I'm selecting the movie, right? Probably I can hide it here. So on option select, I'm going to target that element, document dot query selector, and that element name is dot information, right? And I can access the class list, and I can add a class called There is a class in Bulma. I need to find it out for hiding elements. So for visibility, I'll go and find out. Is it a mobile tablet? Is it a touch tablet, desktop? I think, okay, I need this one is hidden, hides the element, right? So let's use that. So I'm adding is hidden. And let's copy this here also, because there is a possibility user will first search on the right hand side and then on the left hand side. So now save, go back. And now let's try to search. Inception here on the left hand side. I'm going to click. Okay, we are getting the data related to Inception, but there are some spacing issues here, which I'll handle. Harry Potter. Okay, we got Harry Potter, right? You can see the details, right? Both the movies. And there are some issues, there are some bugs. Why I don't know why it is coming every time. Maybe the search is getting called too many times. So let's fix this spacing issue first. I'm going to close this for now. So let's put some spacing to our detail section. So this will be maybe a top 4 and this one margin top 4, something like that. It is safe. Let's do the search once again. Inception. Click. I got the data related to Inception. Harry Potter. Okay. I think I need to increase that debounce time, right? That's why. So now you can do the comparison of 2 movies, right? Pretty easy. Looking good. So you can see like what is the IMDb rating of Inception, what is the IMDb rating of Harry Potter, budget, and the gross income. Cool, looking good. We have came a long way, right? Let's go back and I wanted to show you something. So if you remember, right, when we started building this application in the first part, I think the first feature which we have developed is fetching top movies, right? And I think I've commented that part. So I'm going to remove that. Now we'll have the fetch top movies also. I'm going to remove this. I'm going to save. So initially when the application is going to load, right, it's going to show the top movies. Or maybe we can give it some title also. Let's do that. So I'll probably pick up some title element from Bulma. Let's go to elements, title. Which one will pick? Title 4. I think title 4 looks good. Let's go with the subtitle 4. Right? And this I'm going to use and fetch top movies where we are showing render top movies, right? And inside something like top movies, we are showing that, right? So here probably I can just put that h4 element and let's put this everything inside a container, right? With some margin also. Container, Control X. Okay. Let's have some spacing also here. And let's say this section as top movies. Okay. So if I come back now to my application, you see the top movies, right? And you have the option to search for the movies, search for movies above to compare. So now we have both the features, available. So I can search for the movies, like I can go and search for Inception again. Inception, I can search for, maybe this time we'll search for Avengers. You can do the comparison. You can look for the top movies. So we have built a couple of features, everything in plain JavaScript. I hope you have learned a lot of things in this series of videos in this playlist. And if you really liked it, maybe it was helpful to you, you can comment and you can tell me, you can give me the feedback. That feedback is really, really important for me. I would appreciate if you can do that, take out some time, maybe a minute and share a feedback. So I think so the application is complete. There are many other features you can build, take this code, build whatever features you want to build, extend this application as per your choice. I think from my side, I'm done. And this application looks good to me. We have built a couple of features using plain JavaScript and we have learned a lot in JavaScript. So with that, I'm going to stop here. I'll come back with another project video in JavaScript. We'll make so many projects in JavaScript, if you build projects in JavaScript, it gives you really good hands-on experience and builds confidence within you, so that you can crack the interviews. Or if they have given you some assignment or coding assignment, you can do it like pretty easily. So I'm going to see you in the next video, next series of videos. Until then, you take care. Goodbye, and thanks for watching the video.